Well, welcome into Rapa TV. Today we come to you from the beautiful surroundings of Valachi Downs, sort of the back of Matamata. Look, joined by Gareth Downey, who's General Manager here at Valachi. And Gareth, firstly, it must be cool to come to work at a place like this every day.
It's a pretty magical spot, isn't it, Butch?
Yeah.
Beautiful piece of the Waikato countryside, nice bit of rolling hill country, and yeah, as you see, you look out the window, not too much hardship settling in here each morning.
No. And a couple of new residents are settling in pretty well. One that's been here before is a bit of a globetrotter, and another that's new to the scene. Let's touch on US Navy flag first. He's come back for his second year, and by all reports, everyone's wrapped with his first foals up north.
Yeah, I think possibly the single greatest indicator of just how positively they've been received up there is in year two that increased to 135.
Okay.
You know, as we all know, usually if anything there's a drop off in year two. So we've received a lot of positive comment from breeders up there saying how impressed they have been. He's one of the talk horses up there in terms of first crop foals, and yeah, I guess really the proof is in the pudding in that increase in numbers, which is very encouraging. And already down here there's been 4 of his foals born now, 5 actually, 2 here and 3 in Australia.
Yeah.
We just had one born here last night and she's an absolute belter of a foal, so if they keep coming like that, we'll be over the moon.
And that must be, I suppose, exciting but also nervous times for you guys. You're general manager here, you've got a number of people on the farm really involved in the horse side of things. So when you see those foals come out and I suppose you're looking for a bit of a type, a bit of a line of those types of foals, and 5's only early days, but the reports out of England and then what you're seeing must give you great hope.
Yeah, exactly. It is always a nervous time. Sort of following in the footsteps of the Northern Hemisphere does give you a head start.
Yeah.
We'd be a lot more nervous if those comments out of up there had been negative.
Yeah.
But yeah, all we really wanted to see is pretty much following in the same footsteps of what we've been told up there. He's such a nice individual himself. We're just looking for that kind of quality to come through, and so far that's what we're seeing, early days, but yeah, hopefully more of the same.
And he had a travelling mate this year as well, 10 Sovereigns, who had a super record on the racecourse up there, and he comes to New Zealand for his first season. And I know it hasn't been easy getting these horses here, and there's been a huge amount of work done, particularly with Coolmore, and they've been just magnificent to deal with, yeah?
Yeah, I think the whole process of getting them here, we probably underappreciate some of just how much has had to go in to achieve that. Coolmore have been fantastic. Normally they have a travelling groom travel with each stallion, and they've had to we've had to change the way that happens this year, but thankfully we've been able to get one guy down here who's a permanent New Zealand resident, so he's come back home to be with us for the season, which is fantastic. So as Coolmore managed to get the horses to Australia to do quarantine, the guy that's now with us, Andy, he's come here. He came to Auckland, did his quarantine here, and now they've all joined up here together. The people that flew down with the horses, they then weren't able to get off the plane, stayed on the plane, went straight back home again. That's a pretty big trip to go through to deliver some horses. IRT have then been fantastic to work with down here to get them both to Australia and across the Tasman. The trip across the Tasman, they were due to come here a week earlier on the Thursday, and then the Tuesday night we got the heads up that because of issues that they were dealing with in Victoria, that flight had to be cancelled. So you talk about the nervous times of US Navy flag foals arriving, they were pretty nervous times about whether the stallions were going to arrive, so absolutely great for them to both get here, and as you say, quite an achievement on the part of everyone involved to get that done.
Phenomenal commitment to making sure that can happen. And look, 10 Sovereigns, he's going to complement your other stallions here. You'd be looking forward to him covering a good book first up.
He was extremely popular at Coolmore. He served approximately 195 mares. You have to be a real headline act to be serving those numbers. And he is a gorgeous individual. Another July Cup winner, very similar race record to US Navy flag, both of them Middle Park winners, Group 1 as 2-year-olds, following on to July Cup winners as 3-year-olds. Pretty amazing to have 2 July Cup winners standing here in the stallion block behind us. And yeah, he he's got wonderful credentials. He's got an amazing physique. He's got a good pedigree behind him as well, and they do complement each other. They've got similar race records with different pedigrees and different physiques. So both of those horses do complement each other well. They only got here on Friday, so we're on our second day of parading since then, and they've been popular, and the feedback is extremely positive, as we got last year. US Navy Flag served 150 mares here in his first crop, and the feedback on 10 Sovereigns is every bit as positive as it was about US Navy Flag, so it feels like quite a privilege to have them both here.
Yeah, for sure it is, and I suppose that casting the eye over them, the breeders getting to see them in the flesh is so very important.
Yeah, critical. Quite an unusual year, really, with a horse coming down here. I mean, it's an unusual year, full stop, but a horse coming here that none of us had seen.
Yeah. Because normally, a representative of Valachi, yourself probably, that would have gone up and sighted him, right?
Yeah, normally, just to tick that last box and make sure that what we're asking breeders to commit to down here is the right individual.
Yeah.
But because of the numbers he served and the feedback from people up there and Coolmore as a whole, we obviously felt confident, but it's still nice to see them get here in the flesh, and yeah.
But you couldn't. Vespa, you could see him down to Palmerston. Look, he had a great season last season, and the decision made to relocate him back north just to get him into the heart of the breeding industry. Yeah,
I think big thanks to Wellfield for the role that they've played in kicking off his breeding career, and to the other shareholders and the people that have bred to Vespa. Kevin has probably been the single greatest supporter of Vespa since he went to Stud. So Kevin bred him, and he obviously became champion 2-year-old and went on to be a high-class 3-year-old and 4-year-old as well, for that matter, and retired to Stud at Wellfield. Has had good support without having big numbers. 55 foals in his first crop, and from that first crop, just missed out by a whisker on the first season sire title. But he's had 2 group placed horses, another horse that's won 3 of its 6 starts. It's a pretty encouraging start, and probably added to that is the feedback that we get from trainers. We went through a phase of going to the Matamata track, and each week you went there was someone else wanting to talk to you about their lovely Vespa that they've got. So combining those actual results, and I think possibly, I don't know about you, but when I think of Vespa, I've always thought of champion 2-year-old, and I probably didn't fully appreciate how well he went on as a 3-year-old. And that's what the feedback that we're getting from trainers is. The crop that have just turned 3, they're looking like they've got plenty of scope. They're going to benefit from that time to mature. So as that first crop turns 3, another crop coming through, the actual results to date and the feedback from trainers, that the whole package feels like he's certainly earned his opportunity to access a greater broodmare pool, which obviously we have here in the Waikato. And so it actually, both Valachi and Wellfield and the shareholders, everyone was on the same page of, he started off well, he deserves his chance up in the Waikato, and we feel like like Wellfield's handed over the baton, and now it's our turn to try and run with it. Good conversation to have when everyone's on the same page. You got Zakinto here as well, and Savile Rowe, who we know was probably unlucky not to crack the nut as a racehorse, and they'll just get on and do their business as well. Savile Rowe's actually had a fair bit of inquiry about people wanting to breed to him this year. He, obviously we raced him, and he about that far from winning 3 Group 1s, so no doubting his ability, a gorgeous physique, and a wonderful international family behind him. So he's actually got all the credentials. Served a small book in his first 2 years, but we've got some very nice yearlings by him. And as I say, quite a few people have been getting in touch about wanting to look at breeding to him this year. And Zakinto's largest ever crop have just turned 3, so we're looking forward to them hitting their 3-year-old race career and hopefully delivering with the same sort of strike rate of success as the earlier crops. And if that happens, that will help get him a resurgence as well.
Now look, one of the reasons we're here, as well as talking about all the stallions, is your great commitment, Valachi Downs' great commitment to Foxbridge Plate Day, and this is it here. And we just talked before. I mean, the first name on here is Main Brace, not a bad way to start. Back in 1950, and the last couple are Melody Bell and Endless Drama, who we know ran second to Winks once, and Melody Bell, the first winner of the Triple Crown. Look, it's great to have your association with Te Rapa and the Foxbridge Plate, and this year expanding it to have a race with those stallions' names on them as well. Look, it's a race that kicks off the season really. We've sort of come through winter, and in a normal year we're yearning for these good horses to come out, and I don't think it's any different this year, where everyone's now talking about the good horses kicking off in the Valachi Downs Foxbridge before heading to Hawke's Bay for the start of the Triple Crown there.
Yeah, it's a wonderful association to have with Te Rapa and with the Foxbridge. You know, obviously quite an honour roll there, and as our season has been developing in recent years, the Foxbridge has more and more become the kick-off race for everyone wanting to head to that Hawke's Bay Carnival. And you know, from a long way out, people are starting to talk about, yep, we're targeting the Foxbridge, so an increasing quality of field seems to assemble each year. So it's great to be associated with from that perspective. It's also wonderful from a stud's perspective, just prior to the breeding season, or now as a slight change this year, we're just into the start of the breeding season. But yeah, just a very positive event to be involved with, and obviously you guys are great to work with. We enjoy the association there, and we look forward to this year and many years to come.
Perfect. Look, thanks to you. It was we came out to sort out the Foxbridge and made a pitch for the whole day, and to Kevin and Joe, who I understand really embraced the concept and wanted to get involved and really build on the day. So thanks very much to you guys. Good luck for the season with the boys, and we look forward to hopefully hosting you and your team on Valachi Downs Foxbridge Plate Day.
It does seem like the only certainty at the moment is uncertainty, so we'll just deal with what we can at the time, and no matter what event we can participate on the day, we know the Foxbridge itself will be a great day, so looking forward to it.
Cheers, Gareth.
Cheers, Butch.